Welcome to Diecast Restos. I'm Jason and this is a Matchbox Superfast 75C Alfa Carabo. It was in the series between 1971 and 1976. My example here has been battered, with a smashed windscreen the most obvious of its issues. It also has a bent set of axles and is suffering some paint loss. Most examples can be found in a metallic mauve, purple or pink shade teamed with a yellow base. This is the car it is based on, an incredible Marcelo Gandini designed concept car, but more on that shortly. The casting replaced the 75B Ferrari Berlinetta in 1971 after its short stint in the Superfast series. It had narrow wheels initially before they were later widened. Some rare models had the yellow omitted from the base plate, leaving them bare metal. For its final year in production, it could be found in a streakers livery, which had yellow and green tampos printed across the top sides of the body, including the louvres. In addition to the solid pink colour, a darker red streakers model can also be found. It was replaced by the Sea Sprite helicopter at 75D for 1977. Unfortunately, no reproduction window pieces are yet made, so I've had to resort to raiding this donor, which was missing its louvres. The casting made a return in the short-lived budget Super GT series in 1985. This had a blacked out window to conceal its lack of interior, the louvres are now cast in, and it could be found in a variety of colours with number 6 tampos, until the range was discontinued in 1990. Of note, Corgi also made a Carabo called the Carabo Bertone for their Rockets and Juniors ranges. This could also be found with a pink and yellow livery. You will have seen I used a liquid paint stripper instead of caustic soda for the base. That was simply to save removing the suspension piece, as caustic soda would likely have melted any plastic parts. Now let's take a journey back to the late 1960s and find out more about the Carabo, born from the legendary Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale. The 33 Stradale possessed a tubular chassis with a meticulously designed curvaceous body by Franco Scaglione. Beneath the sleek exterior lay a detuned 2-litre V8 engine capable of 230 horsepower. Paired with a Calotti gearbox and Girling disc brakes, the Stradale was engineered well ahead of its time. Despite its attributes, production of the Stradale was limited to just 18 examples. Enter the Alfa Romeo Carabo, unveiled at the 1968 Turin Motor Show. Designed by Marcelo Gandini of Bertone, the Carabo was a bold departure from convention, featuring a striking wedge-shaped design. Built in just 10 weeks on a 33 Stradale chassis, it had a fiberglass body teamed with scissor doors, the first known vehicle to feature them. Its influence would be felt for decades to come, helping to shape the future of automotive design, including Gandini's later work, the Lamborghini Countach. In the years that followed, other notable Alfa Romeo concept cars emerged, each bearing the DNA of the 33 Stradale. From the Giugiaro-designed Iguana to the Gandini-designed Navajo, the spirit of the Stradale lived on in these visionary machines. No fewer than 6 different concept cars were built on 5 33 Stradale chassis between 1968 and 1976. The name Carabo is derived from the Carabidae beetle, as evoked in the car's iridescent green and orange livery. The Carabo was never intended for production, though it was fully functional. Marcelo Gandini sadly passed in March of this year. Coincidentally, I started my restoration of this model on the 12th of March, the day before he died. Let's consider this my late tribute to the great designer, whose work in addition to the Carabo and Lamborghini Countach included the Lancia Stratos and Stratos Zero concept, the Lamborghini Miura, to the more modest Citroën BX and Mark I Volkswagen Polo. There's many more very recognisable vehicles that he designed, certainly too many to list here as I approach the closing stages of this restoration. It has left me eager to resto mod one of these Carabos though, as I'd love to have one with the 33 Stradale wheels painted in the fantastic iridescent green paint. At the video outro, there's some great footage of the concept car. But now though, I'm finishing this rebuild with coats of clear on the body and base. Here then are all of the parts that make up the pink and yellow Matchbox Alfa Carabo. First I reacquaint that beetle-like rear louvre section with the casting. With that clipped in, I flip it over to add the window part borrowed from the louvreless donor model. Following that is the cleaned and washed interior. Then I gather the base piece with the wheels already slotted beneath the suspension clip, align the posts, and secure each with a 3mm M2 screw, painted pink of course. So this was how my unloved Alfa Carabo looked. Its smashed window and lack of available reproduction parts meant I needed a donor for this restoration. Thankfully I had one which was missing its louvres anyway. I also needed to straighten the bent axles and match the paint as best I could using rattle cans. The yellow was no issue, but the pink I had looks more similar to some lighter mauve shades Lesney used on earlier examples. But here's how it turned out. Revitalised in the original colours Lesney used, this Carabo is looking much healthier, with its new paint job, replacement windows, straightened axles and retrimmed wheels, and its glossier looking louvres. The pink paint is similar but not a perfect match to my original, but it is closer to how some other examples left Lesney's factory. However, I'd much prefer to have seen this in a more authentic green shade used on the functioning concept car. You can see more of that in the outro as I pay a delayed tribute to the late Marcelo Gandini, who passed away in March 2024. What do you reckon? A resto mod in authentic colours, or do you like the pink and yellow combo? Let me know down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this rapid restoration, and please subscribe for more content like this. Help support the channel on Patreon or YouTube memberships if you at all can, but all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.